Welcome back. And so if there's one thing that the president said yesterday that is a constant, nothing bad that has happened must impact on our happiness. So we must, move on and celebrate. And that's a fact. And for us here, we've been keeping tabs on the batches arriving Lagos for the celebration of dirty, or if you like, dirty December. So we're going to give you cues on where particularly to celebrate for this segment besides Lagos. So is Lagos the route to other fun spots for celebration with family and friends? Joining us to have this conversation this morning is Mr. Dayo Olujekun. He's the DGM of Director General of Ikogosi Hospitality. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Brief. Did I get your designation correctly?
Not quite, thank you. Not quite. It's Dayo Olujekun, DGM, Glocient Hospitality Limited, which are the concessionaires of Ikogosi Once Ring Resort.
And we're going to have that conversation, concessionaire arrangement.
Yes.
But, let's look at it from an aerial perspective, first of all. It's a good thing that it appears as if, Nigeria is the entry port for so many people who want to come celebrate back home in the country. So from an aerial perspective, what are the fun spots, that are attractive for celebration this season?
Oh. Well, I would say first of all, Ikogosi Once Ring Resort is a place to be.
That's like 1 to 20.
So yeah, that's the first place you should consider. Outside of Lagos, and I think there are some other places in the north and maybe in the east that people should look at for this type of season. There are different resorts and different destinations that people can check out, even within the south itself. Apart from Ekiti as a state that has a lot of attraction on its own, over 25 of them that we don't know, can be visited. And of course we have places like Abeokuta, with the Olumorok, and you have Ibadan, with the zoo and everything there. And of course Ondo State has Idori Hill. So yeah. There are other places people can go to.
Are there no places in the south? I see you're just hovering around the southwest. Is it your catchment area? So you're just geolocating your business. So maybe take us outside to the south.
Take us to the
south. Take us to the southeast.
The northeast and northwest.
I think there's only called Oble. I don't know what that means. The southeasterners, they like to go home during this December. Yeah, remember?
Right.
So walk us through.
Well, naturally, he will stick to Ikogosi, right? Naturally, that is his own business.
No. Let's give him the opportunity. Are there other places?
I'm familiar with. There are places in Enugu. There are places that, of course, you have Calabar there that you can still go to.
The carnival.
The carnival is there that you can go to, and where else do you have there? Apart from the carnival itself, there are other places within the Calabar, that you can go, even if we say the Obudu Ranch is not as it should be right now, but you can still do some nice things in there, I guess.
So I'm wondering, for some of these locations you've mentioned, besides the greenery and the scenery, if you will, because we've had this I just got back people, they've been stressing us. So we want to decentralize them. Batch D just arrived yesterday.
Oh, wow.
They grade themselves.
Yeah.
And they are turning up Lagos literally every night. And so my colleague suffered traffic the other day. It's a combo of what the president did and what I just got back did. So it's almost a crisis situation. There's a reason people come to Lagos.
Yeah.
How exciting is it outside Lagos? Because that excitement is going to be a driver.
All right, so I'm going to share my own experience. We arrived Ekiti State in 2022 to redevelop Ikogosi Once Ring Resort. And I tell you, that Christmas of that year, 2022, we didn't believe we could have that much, fun. Even way far away in Ekiti State, in Ikogosi town. And what we did with my team was be able to bring that place up to speed, to a living condition by the time it was the 25th of December. And one significant thing that I would say that we experienced was experiencing Germany all the way in Ekiti, because the weather was so cold. We had to wear really padded gear, and we had Tunde Kilani come in and show his films throughout the entire period for 1 week. So we're watching all those classic movies in the amphitheater around in there. And we had dinner under the stars. We had so many activities that people engaged in that were part of it that day. And we've continued the tradition since then, 2022, 2023, and we're going to do it 2024. So people are going to be in the resort in the Ekiti area, in the Kogosi, and they're going to have so much fun because there's so many activities, and it's so removed from the hustle and bustle of Lagos State because everything's congested here. But when you get there, you find out that air is different, actually, in Nigeria.
Fair enough, really, because the air is very important, and I think that's one of the selling points. Some people come from nation's capital, Abuja, to Lagos, and they tell you, you guys should come to Abuja, the air, the greenery, and all of that. Yeah. But this naturally comes with its challenges. First, are you booked for this period? Are you fully booked?
Definitely. We are fully booked.
So there's money in this country?
There is. I'm telling you. So since 2022, December, that we arrived in Kogosi Warm Springs and made it a place for people to go. And of course, I must mention that since then we've won the best holiday resort in Nigeria 2 years in a row. It's now become place where people go all the time, and we are fully booked for the holiday. If you're going to get a room right now, maybe some few days in between the holidays.
Fully booked.
I'm telling you.
So this will come as a surprise because we keep talking about economic hardship, we talk about inflation, we talk about all these indicators, and yet you say you're fully booked.
Where did they get the money?
Where did they get the money? So give us a sense of the class of people who are your biggest patrons, for this time of the season and other times when you're also fully booked.
So for this period, it's mainly families. So we have a lot of families come by since they've discovered that they could do this. And talking about the economy and the inflation and everything, everybody is beginning to understand that, okay, rather than take that money and try to convert it and it becomes very trickle changes, let me just use this and stay in Nigeria. And a place like Kogosi Warm Springs Resort and Conference Center is a place that you could spend that money and get value for it. So we have families come by during this period.
Are they people from the corridors of power, those who work in Abuja, Villa?
No. Regular families are coming in. Private, solo travelers are coming in. Individuals are coming in. Couples are coming in during this time, and they are staying. And every other time during the year, it's either the fun seekers, the tourists that come around, because we have things like hiking, we have camping, and of course, we shouldn't forget, it's the only source of cold and warm springs in the world. So that attraction itself, it's something to behold. So yeah, those are the kind of, we have regular people coming.
So these Dirty December departments, have they also found their way to your area?
Yeah, definitely. We've had a lot of requests coming from, the overseas, saying, coming by and all that. And surprisingly, even some people, when they land in Lagos, discover that this is a place that they could go to. Yeah, make their way down there.
Has the economy affected your business in any way? I know that this is a boom season. I remember I was watching an interview of one of the big hotels, one of the managers of the big hotels in Lagos, saying that their room used to be 400 and something thousand naira per night, and now it's about 680, almost 700,000. And since October, they've been fully booked. The anchor didn't know when they say, in this economy. So that is the reality we live in. So, but as hospitality business, has the economy affected you in any way? And how have you been able to navigate?
Yeah, naturally, anyone that says the economy hasn't affected them will be lying, because what you're buying fuel before is not what you're buying it now. And one of our own resources is, making sure that there's 24 hours electricity. So if you can't do that without diesel. So we've had challenges with, trying to make sure that we keep our standard without with 24 hours electricity. So we're spending more on that. Of course, we've had to increase our room rates, but considerably. People still afford, they see value. I think the problem is when people don't see the value. But if you see the value for your money, then there won't be a problem. So people still come in because they get the value.
So you're making profit?
Yes, we are making profit.
Okay. So now let's talk about okay, go ahead, Gary.
Sorry, I can't help it, because Jeffrey talked about the South, and one of the biggest, what is meant to be the biggest tourist attraction in that area, the Obudu cattle ranch and all of that. I don't know if as your company, you look at Obudu and you think, what could be with this Obudu if only we could just get our hands on it. But you have people go to Obudu from time to time to tell you there isn't power, you literally have to fend for yourself, the kind of food they get. Forget the cable cars, they're just parked there. It's like, they're just there as a monument. So do you see those opportunities and you think this is what we could do with it? Is that something you've probably discussed in your boardrooms? Because there are lots of opportunities like this across the country that could earn us good forex.
Yeah. You're very right, and thank you for that question. And I must say now, so Glocient Hospitality Limited belongs to a group of company called Cavista Holdings. So we have Cavista Holdings, which is like the holding company that is interested in, invested in agriculture, IT, fintech, and of course hospitality. So your point is, aligns with our vision to make sure that we look at, especially in Glocient Hospitality, look at hospitality properties that are failing and see if we can, take that over and run and, make it effective and efficient, like Ikogo's Warm Spring Resort now, which used to be home to lizard and pests, and is now home to a lot of people, especially at this time of the year. So yeah, that's something that we're looking at.
We can look forward to that.
Yeah. Even around Africa. So Cavista Holdings is investing around Nigeria and Africa as well.
Because there's a lot going on, for instance, in Calabar. There are three things I know for a fact. I live there, school there. So there's Obudu Cattle Ranch, there's the Tinapa people don't talk about anymore. Right. Which was supposed to be like the Dubai, kind of. It's supposed to be.
Film village, yes.
And what do you call it now? The carnival.
The carnival.
That used to be like for 31 or 32 days.
Yes.
I think that was, I went to watch Lucky Dube. That was where actually, if I never knew Nigerian music has transcended, it was in Calabar, I realized that then we've made it in Nigeria. Because I was at the stadium watching was his twin brother?
The P-Square.
P-Square. An international star had come the day before the stadium was not full. The day I'm telling you, an international star came, the stadium was not full. The day these guys came, the stadium was full, and when they introduced them, it's like everywhere wanted to blow up. So do you integrate things like music? Because Lagos, sorry, I'm on this dirty December people. I'm just looking for a way to decongest. Do you do like club music? Are those part of your bouquet?
Attractions? Yeah, yes. So interesting is that, sometime down the line we'll have something that people can gravitate to on a yearly basis as our own signature festival. So we did some kind of it sometime when we started in the year, and we always repeat that every year. So all the activities around the December period, involves music, involves cultural plays, involves even discovering the arts and crafts of the people. So those are the kind of things that we incorporate in the activities for the December period. We even have fireworks, that we usher in the new Christmas day or the New Year period, during this time. So it's always a lot of fun for families, children, adults, and everybody. So yeah.
I love cultural plays. Already it's a motivation for me to want to visit Ikogosi. I want to piggyback on some of the challenges that you talked about earlier on, and to ask, as a follow-up, if the concession company is exploring sustainable options, for the management, such that you can also generate revenue and you can encourage nature, sustainability in energy energy not just for power, but also for transportation within the the place, and also sustainable options also for agriculture. It's an area that is agrarian, also such that agriculture can thrive in that area, and then you can eat what you produce. Are there options that the concession company is exploring in that regard?
Oh yeah, definitely. So
talk to us about
first, with power, we are looking at at alternative energies like solar to make sure that we can have some of our energy sources off the grid, and as well share with the immediate community, considering this. When it comes to food, we actually do grow what we eat because, we are surrounded by very lush arable lands in Ekiti State right there. So there's a practice farm to table that that we've employed for people to eat fresh food whenever they come to the resort. And other sustainability practices like, maybe gathering our water so that we're not really running on tap all the time. So we gather rainwater for other things like, our landscaping activities and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Interesting. I just want to ask straight up, particularly for those who Jeffrey is trying to ship to other parts of the country,
especially
centralized. From Lagos. So what does it cost? Because all of this conversation at the end of the day is money, right? So I can't just waltz in and say, I'm here, I need a room, right? Yeah. So what should people prepare in terms of money if they want to spend a good time, let's say 2 days for a family of three, for example, or a couple? What should they keep?
Or save,
right?
I mean, for a weekend, for a family of 3, you spend between 350 to 450, And you'll
have a good time.
And you still have a good time. I mean, our list room is about 85,000 naira, so that is still a very affordable thing to do.
Fair enough. Yeah. You go to other parts of the world or in Africa.
It's extremely fair.
Right?
I say in Lagos, 680,000 without food. For one room.
Sorry,
so what are the mobility options? Can you come by air or it's just by road? Because that's also a factor.
Yeah,
or can you come by sea or water? As the case may be.
Ekiti is landlocked, so you can't come by water, obviously. Yeah. But by air, you could do from Lagos to Akure, then, do the rest by road, which is about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think I tried that once, just straight road.
Yeah, if, depending on how you're driving. Or you can just do by road directly, which is about 4 hours from Lagos. And it's still quite safe. I mean, I do road most of the time. And it's still a good journey for us to get to the resort. So, yeah.
We hope with these few points of ours, we're able to convince Batch D,
and intending Batch E.
And it's fun in other parts of the country.
It works well for Nigeria. All of the foreign exchange, you bring it back.
Yeah, there's a lot of FX now.
And then you plow it into the economy through, exploring these tourism options.
What is going? Like, I'd said it months ago that the president should not mistake dirty December for improved economy. Our devalued naira has made. It's true. A lot, it's a give and take. Nothing is really black and white sometimes. It's a give and take. Our currency has been devalued, so £1 now is about 2,000 plus. So imagine somebody who lives in London coming in with £1,000. Wow. This December will be extremely dirty. Do you understand?
All right, we must thank you very much, Mr. Dayo Olujeko, the DGM Glocient Hospitality Managers for Ikogosi Warm Spring in Ekiti State. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. And I will just say on my part note, tell your batch D to go see Ikogosi.
They are hearing.
They've heard.
Go see Ikogosi.
Yes, we've driven the message home effectively. But there's more to come on the show on how we can make this December dirty. So stay with us. We'll be right back.